This Diddy trial has ripped off its polite gloves and is now throwing haymakers you never saw coming. What began as just Cassie's horrifying story has now detonated into something way bigger than any gossip blog or entertainment outlet could have predicted. Forget the usual celebrity dirt and scandal. We're talking about federal courtrooms buzzing with unheard audio, leaked whispers painting vivid, chilling pictures, and a tidal wave of resurfaced footage dragging serious Hollywood heavyweights into the muck. The internet's practically smoking. The streets are alive with whispers, and you can bet the people involved are currently questioning every life decision they've ever made. So what just went down? After weeks of the prosecution laying out Cassie's alleged nightmare, the abuse, those infamous altercations, and Diddy's iron-fisted control, the whole case took a dramatic turn. Court insiders and online leaks are claiming the spotlight has now locked intensely onto audio recordings. And these aren't just casual conversations. We're talking about supposedly raw, explicit tapes that allegedly feature Diddy alongside Will Smith and Meek Mill. Yeah, this isn't some random Twitter rumor that'll disappear by morning. This is reportedly being played in open court, sending real shockwaves through the entire room. It all started with that silent hotel lobby video a few days ago. No audio, just grainy visuals. Most people assumed that was the end of it. But now, sources deep inside are claiming that behind closed doors, the audio was actually played. And it left the courtroom in stunned, breathless silence. Phones were banned. Journalists weren't allowed to record. Just an atmosphere so heavy, you could feel it. One person who was present described the clip as undeniably graphic. The kind of recording that makes a room freeze up because you instantly realize you've just heard something serious, something that can't be unheard. And just when jaws were already on the floor, the story got even wilder. Right after the audio was played, a new list of witnesses was revealed. And these aren't just random clout chasers looking for a headline. We're talking about ex-Bad Boy artists, former staff members, people who were deep inside Diddy's world. They toured with him, partied at his mansions, worked behind the scenes. These are individuals who allegedly witnessed things firsthand, who might have stayed silent for years, maybe out of fear, but are now reportedly ready to talk under the protection of the law. One of those voices? Dawn Richard. You might remember her from Danity Kane, one of Diddy's former girl groups. She recently testified in court and was later photographed looking completely drained, visibly shaken, as she exited the courthouse surrounded by a swarm of paparazzi. Insiders are now saying that her testimony supported Cassie's claims, that she straight up admitted Diddy did some truly disturbing, messed up things in private, away from the spotlight.
One thing Dawn said is after she saw Diddy beat Cassie the next day,
he came in the room
and threatened her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Dawn is testifying that exactly what she talked about in her civil suit, in addition to some other things, that they were in a house in LA in 2009. Diddy beat Cassie because Cassie wasn't finished allegedly making his food on time, and the next day he came in the room to talk to her and her band member, and he basically told them, allegedly that he told them, don't say anything, what y'all saw up there was passion, and when people say stuff about things like this about me, they end up missing.
That's not speculation. That's reportedly in the official court transcripts. Then there's Diddy's daughter. If you needed a clear, powerful visual of just how serious things have gotten, it was her walking silently out of that courtroom. No arrogance, no attitude, just a blank, pale, and utterly silent expression etched across her face. Even the relentless paparazzi didn't dare to shout questions. She didn't even lift her head, not a single glance toward the cameras. Sources claim her reaction came immediately after the audio was played, which only adds more weight to how disturbing that recording must have been. The silence, the tension, the expressions, it all tells a story without a single word being spoken. And now, the implications stretch way beyond just legal consequences for Diddy. This is about more than one man on trial. This is about shattered reputations, a family legacy teetering on the edge, and a tangled web of buried secrets that seem to pull in some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry. Will Smith's name being brought up wasn't just some casual mention. It's reportedly directly tied to that same audio, and you already know, the second Will Smith's name entered the narrative, the internet went into overdrive. It was instant chaos online. The moment headlines connected Will Smith to the Diddy case, everything exploded. Old clips resurfaced. Awkward red carpet interviews, strange podcast snippets, moments people had once ignored were suddenly being studied frame by frame. Every past interaction between Will and Diddy was now being examined under a blazing spotlight. One interview that blew up again was comedian Luenell casually dropping the comment that Diddy and Will were extremely close. She said it so offhandedly, so casually, that most people didn't think twice the first time. But this time it went viral. The internet ran wild with it. Memes were born. Twitter threads, TikToks, Reddit deep dives, it all snowballed within hours. And just when people thought it couldn't get any crazier, the rabbit hole went deeper and darker. Fans started digging up old footage, not just of Diddy and Will, but of Will with his son, Jaden Smith. Suddenly, moments that once seemed harmless were being interpreted through a whole new lens.
And then I saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin. Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, but I see his car there. So I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was.
Those affectionate kisses, the overly playful energy that once seemed like quirky father-son bonding moments, they're now being rewatched through a completely different, deeply unsettling lens. What once sparked a chuckle now prompts raised eyebrows and nervous discomfort. People began voicing their unease, saying something just didn't feel right. The tone online shifted almost overnight, from amusement to suspicion to genuine concern. Then came the nuclear moment. Brother Bilal, Will Smith's former assistant, stepped forward with allegations that blew the lid off everything. This wasn't gossip anymore. This was someone from the inside making claims too graphic and specific to ignore. Bilal said he had personally witnessed Will Smith engaging in highly questionable behavior. He even described one incident in disturbing detail, alleging Will intimately touched another man. And shockingly, that wasn't even the most explosive part of his claims. He went on to say he once walked in on Will and actor Dwayne Martin in a compromising position. His words, not ours. After that bombshell, the internet basically turned into a full-scale digital forensics lab. People weren't waiting for CNN or TMZ. They took matters into their own hands. Clips, screenshots, throwback interviews, everything involving Diddy and Will was dug up and scrutinized. Photos of them at exclusive events, hugging, whispering, laughing like old friends. Those moments started looking a whole lot different through this new lens of suspicion. Will, realizing the storm was getting out of control, tried to shut it down with a bold denial. His words, "I ain't nowhere near that man. I did none of that stupid." But instead of putting out the fire, it threw gasoline on it, because the receipts came flooding in. Photos, clips, parties, award shows, clubs, private hangouts. There was no shortage of evidence showing Will and Diddy not only near each other, but looking very comfortable in each other's presence. What followed wasn't just suspicion, it was betrayal. People felt like they'd been lied to. Directly. And right when the smoke was rising, Meek Mill's name got pulled even deeper, into the flames. His name was reportedly mentioned during the courtroom playback of those explosive altercation tapes. Once that hit the web, chaos erupted. Unlike Will, who at least tried a composed public denial, Meek went into full meltdown mode. His Twitter feed became an all-out defense mission. Tweet after tweet, each one more reactive than the last. And honestly, the more he tweeted, the more people started to believe he had something to hide. The truth is, Meek Mill has been associated with Diddy for years. Fans used to joke about their dynamic, calling Meek names like Diddy's intern, pocket puppet, and darker, way less repeatable things. Back then, most brushed it off as classic internet trolling. But now those same jokes are being re-examined like pieces of a puzzle. And suddenly, they're starting to make a lot more sense. Of course, the internet brought the receipts. One viral video shows Meek at a billionaire Michael Rubin party, acting oddly shy and awkward, almost childlike. People pointed out how uncomfortable he looked, like he was laughing something off but didn't actually find it funny. In the background, a voice can even be heard laughing, almost mockingly. Then, there's the now infamous clip of Diddy throwing Meek a birthday party. Seems normal at first glance, until you notice the poolside is packed with shirtless men. And Diddy? He's on camera calling Meek daddy, saying things like, "I'm proud of you, I love you, I appreciate life, daddy." The internet did not let that one go. Every time Meek tried to project a tough image on Twitter, fans would just spam that clip in the replies. Daddy became a meme that refused to die. Then Meek snapped. He posted a rant, "I'm not into that, stop playing with me." But it was too late. The replies were relentless. Screenshots, old tweets, videos. Him looking undeniably cozy with Diddy. But here's what really has everyone glued to this case: the enigma of that audio. So far, not a single second of it has leaked. No grainy phone recording, no fuzzy voice memo, not even a blurry still from inside the courtroom. Just whispered summaries and the stunned faces of those who were inside. And it's that silence, that loud, chilling silence, that makes it so much more haunting. Everyone's hearing how explosive it is, how graphic, how damning, but no one outside those courtroom walls has heard it for themselves. Not yet.